Hi, we're here today with Julia Lowe, our latest addition to Coast. Julia, welcome. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Glad to be here with you today, Tristan.
Hey, so we're thrilled that you joined our group.
Thank you.
And, it's a real privilege for us to have you on the team. Rick and I, when Rick found out you were joining us, he was just, over the moon to have somebody with such experience and, a long-time local resident that's done a lot of transactions and owned a lot of real estate on Hilton Head. So we were kind of like, why were we so lucky to have Julia Lowe join our team? So why don't you tell everybody what it was about Coast and EXP that made you make the move?
Well, I do love being a part of Coast. It's all brand new to me, but the technology and the advantage that we're going to have with our listings because of all the new technology is great. I love the enthusiasm and vitality of this team. I love their encouragement and their goodwill in the neighborhood. I just think it's going to be a fantastic place to work, so I'm very happy.
Well, that's awesome. Well, again, we appreciate you joining us, and we're kind of really excited just to see where this road is going to take us all. I mean, so far we've had a lot of great get-togethers just in the last few weeks. We did an amazing photo shoot at your home, which we are delighted that you let us come on the property and do that. And the pictures came out incredibly well.
Yes, they sure did.
And we're just excited to see where your business goes.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your history with sales? I know that you have kind of tackled different parts of the industry. And I think a lot of the agents know you for being a big part of the development of the Jonesville Road area, some of the communities down there.
Yes, I do have a lot of experience in our off-plantation section of Hilton Head Island, which is maybe a little different from a lot of the agents. I was privileged to be a part of the development of several neighborhoods off of Spanish Wells Road. And my first neighborhood was Jarvis Creek Club. There are 83 homes in there, and I loved it. I got to help design all those homes. I got to do all the selections with all the people and follow the construction all the way through to completion. And then I was in another neighborhood after that called the Paddocks and did some same kind of work, design and build in there. And then I moved over to Salt Creek Landing and then Magnolia Place. One interesting thing about Salt Creek Landing, Tristan, is that I got to help name that neighborhood.
How cool was that?
Yeah, we had a little contest, and everybody was supposed to think about how, what the name should be. And there's a little boat landing in there, so that's how I thought, well, there's salt water in there. And my husband and I were riding along, and we came up with Salt Creek Landing because it really does fit that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So I'm always proud because I got to help name that. It was just such a fun little detail.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you've also owned some really cool real estate on Hilton Head, not just this beautiful home in Spanish Wells on the water, but I believe you had a really cool beach house down there in South Forest Beach.
It sure did. I sure did. Yes, I actually started many years ago buying lots here on the island and some in Bluffton too. I bought a lot in Indigo Run Plantation and built spec houses on them with the builder. And then I did some spec work out in Colleton River and had a few lots in Berkeley Hall. And the one on South Forest Beach, we started it in 2007, couldn't sell it. So then came my experience as an investor and a rental agent on Hilton Head Island. And we rented that house for about 7 or 8 years before we sold it. It was a really nice large rental, about 10 rows back from the beach. And we ended up having a really good return on that. But that helped me a lot, Tristan, to really understand what investors need and the return that they need, how to do the numbers for them and help them understand what would make a good investment.
Well, it was very interesting to me. That house, I don't remember everything about it, but I remember that it was a very unique property. And didn't the Golf Academy rent that from you, or was it Prep?
It was Prep.
It was Prep,
yes,
okay, but
Prep
it was a large property, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a very large property. It was 9 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms, and it was an interesting property because it was a nice big lot and it had a nice long pool on there it was just really a beautiful property that we enjoyed using ourselves some too, which is always a nice thing about having an investment property.
So there you go. So I think that's shows us a lot about the versatility of Julia. She's worked on that kind of middle of the road, 500, 700 million price point, and she's sold the big properties, owned the big properties, the big rental machines. These properties down there in Forest Beach now some of them are pushing $500,000 in rental income. These investors just...
Maybe I should have kept it, Tristan.
Maybe. There's actually one down there on Dune Lane that's doing over $600,000. So a lot of people, when they come to Hilton Head, they don't realize that if they pick the right property, they can often own their vacation dream home and the rental income will cover the expense of that property.
Yes, that's so true. And I think it's truer now than it used to be when I started investing. We never used to make that point, but we have found that to be true in our current environment.
The addition of the Airbnb and the VRBO has also given these owners that may only want to own one or two, or they go into retirement and they're like, you know what, I can manage this myself. They get hooked up with a cleaning company like Chris Gomez,
yes.
our Coast guy that owns a cleaning company, and they can literally take the bookings from their phone and deal with what it takes to run a property. Or if they don't have the time or don't want to deal with it, there's probably 25 great rental companies in the area, and they can literally just call them up and say, you handle everything, we'll be down these weeks of the year, the rental income comes in, pays the expenses, and they basically just worry about coming on vacation. As far as the group Coast, what have you found since you've been there that's maybe a little bit different than some of the other companies that you've been working at?
A lot of it is attitude and success and goodwill. And I really love that about this group. I love the camaraderie. And I do love the technology too. I'm learning so much. I don't think that I have it all down yet, but I just think we're going to have a huge edge in the market because of the technology that this company offers. It's just a great business model.
I searched for about 2 years. Rick was so busy at Carolina Realty Group, he was just crushing the deals. But, I was actively saying, I think there's a new model out there that's,
yes.
I was kind of hearing rustlings about these in the cloud brokerages and everything. But when it really got laid out to me and I understood it clearly, and it took a while, I realized there was no other choice. I had to make a move for myself and for my family because of the advantages this company gives us. I mean, 3 streams of income. I mean, I love the old-fashioned brokerages. I love all the people I work for. But at the end of the day, this offers us an opportunity for retirement.
Yes.
And so we are actively, EXP, the brokerage, their agents sell an incredible amount of real estate because of the structure of the company and the education and all the things that these really, really bright people have put into place for the agents. But the other thing is that they've basically taken out the traditional ownership model and we are compensated like owners as well. So it's really unique.
Yes, and I'm so glad I could get in on it kind of early, although there's already, 85,000 agents?
It's a very young company in the scheme of things.
Yes.
And it has the potential to grow up to 1 million agents. That's the goal of the owners. So far, they are breaking boundaries in everything they're doing. They keep making decisions for the agents. It's an agent-centric company. And pretty much every decision they make, these guys at the top, Glenn Sanfad, who created EXP, and these top realtors that have come behind him and helped grow this, Brent Gove, Gene Frederick, Shirley Johnson, who we know has come down. They've all been in the trenches, just like us, selling real estate. So they know it's not some guy, off at some corporate place that's never touched real estate. It's the guys that worked, Keller Williams guys, they worked through it and they knew they had to take it to the next level. And I think that's why everybody's so excited, because it's just something totally different.
Well, I think it's just going to be really fun to be on that cutting edge, to have the new model and to be the ones who get to take advantage of all those great things that EXP has to offer.
It's really a cool deal. Well, listen,
totally
guys, thanks for joining us today. If you are interested in buying or selling some real estate, give Julie a call. And if you're an agent, give Julie a call and ask her about her experience at Coast and all the great things that EXP offers.
Thank you, Tristan. They could call you too, but I'll give them my phone number.
Yeah, why don't you give them your phone number?
Thank you. 843-342-5023. Thanks so much.
Thanks for joining us.